Hey guys, it's Katie. So, take this off. So today we are going to be doing a spooky Halloween reading recommendation. So I know Halloween is literally like on Tuesday, but if you guys are in the mood for some spooky reading for the weekend and Halloween night, if you don't have any plans and you'd rather just stay in and read a book, or if you want to pass out candy and read while you're waiting for kids to come, got some recommendations for you. So let's jump right into this video. So the first books that it's kind of like a collection of books that I'm going to recommend to you guys. It's pretty much anything by Stephen King. We all know he writes horror books. I've personally only read one of his books, which I'm going to recommend to you, and that is Kerry. So this is like the first book he's ever written. This is like the first book I've ever read from him. First and only book really so far. But this is a classic. I love it. It's amazing. This was one of like the first scary movies I ever saw that kind of got me intrigued and like interested in horror. And I just remember like some scenes from the older movie being very disturbing when I was younger. But either way, I really enjoyed it. I did read through this book, and honestly, the book is a lot different than the film, obviously. But, it's just written in such a way that's really, like, creepy and tense, and there's just a lot of, like, very grotesque descriptions in this novel, and, I would definitely recommend this book if you want to pick up something from Stephen King, but maybe you're intimidated because, let's be honest, this is his other book. This is The Stand. This is a beefy book. So if this kind of thing intimidates you, I would definitely pick up Kerry, because this book's only about like 300 pages. It's super easy to read, super quick. It's a really good story, and you know, it still documents his writing very well. And I think this is kind of a good starter book, and it definitely is packed with a lot of creepy things, especially once you get to the end. This book's kind of told in like news articles and points of view from like other students and stuff, and I don't know, it's just really good. Pretty sure all of you guys know what Kerry is about, but if you don't, it's basically about this high school girl. She's made fun of a lot, and it opens up with her getting her first period, and she doesn't know what it is, so the girls at school kind of make fun of her, and she's also kind of struggling with like this power. She has like some kind of telekinesis, and she's kind of struggling with controlling that and understanding what it is. Her mom is super religious. She kind of suffocates her, so it all leads up to the big finale, which I'm sure most of you guys know, but I'm not going to say it just in case. But yeah, definitely recommend this book. The next book that I'm going to recommend for the Halloween reading season is The Merciless by Daniel Vega, of course. I've been raving about this book since I read it because it's just so amazing. Like, I can't wait to read the rest of the series. It's so creepy. It's full of action. I have a review on this if you guys want to see that. It does contain some spoilers, so stay away if you haven't read. But this book was so creepy. It's basically about this girl who, she's new to town. She meets these mean girls, kind of, and they're like super religious, and they end up taking her to this really creepy house, and a bunch of like seance-y, ghosty, creepy things happen. But this book is definitely grotesque. There are a lot of nasty descriptions in here. But this book's definitely good to read. I devoured this book in like a day, so it's a super fast read. It starts out kind of light, but it does get really dark near the end. It's kind of like a ghosty demon story, so if that interests you, I would definitely recommend picking this up for the Halloween season. The next book I'm going to recommend to you is this book. This is The Diary of a Haunting by M. Verano. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But I picked this book up because of the cover. It literally just looks so terrifying, and like it's weird because this cover is like actually like see-through, So like look, when you see this cover it's like that, and then you put it on, it's like monster. It's so cool. I just thought that was super interesting. But this book is basically, it's your stereotypical like haunted house story, I guess. So it is about this girl named Paige. She's moving from Los Angeles to Idaho, so you know, like big culture change there. And to make things worse for her, the house that they are renting is really disgusting, really old, full of spiders. It's really like gross. And not to mention she's used to living in like a cityscape area, and now she's like in this rural kind of town, so there's not much to do, not what she's used to. So it's just all around bad for her. And then, to make things worse, all these creepy things just start happening around the house, things that can't be explained. Things start moving around, words are appearing on the walls, her brother is randomly wandering the halls at night, we don't know what's going on, it's super creepy. And to make things worse, they also have this really creepy neighbor that seems to know something, but he's not really saying what he knows. And then things get really creepy in this book when she discovers that her house was actually home to some kind of creepy cult back in the day. So she ends up having to go and investigate a little bit deeper into what is going on in her house. So this is definitely a super spooky book to read. I highly recommend it. I haven't really seen many people talk about it. I just kind of picked it up in the bookstore because it looks scary and I'm into horror. But if you guys are into like ghosty haunted house reads, definitely recommend this book for you guys. The next book I'm going to recommend to you guys is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. Of course, everyone talks about this book. It was kind of popular around BookTube a while ago, but I really, really enjoyed this book series. There's 3 books. The new book is coming out. There's a new book coming out, The Confessions of Noah Shaw, I think it's called. That is coming out next month. So if you guys want to just binge this series this weekend, you can do that and be ready for the next book that comes out. But this series was really great, especially this first book. There's a lot of creepy elements going on because Mara doesn't quite know what's going on with her yet. She does have the power to kill people with her mind. Like, she'll think about people dying and then they die. I also have a review on this book. If you guys want to check that out, I'll link it up in the cards as well. But I love this book series. The first book's definitely a little bit more like horror driven than the other books. The other books are kind of like sci-fi dystopian kind of thing. They kind of shift a little bit by the third book. But the first book, definitely recommend for a creepy little feel there. Alright guys, the last book I'm going to recommend to you is Frozen Fire by Tim Bowler. So this was probably one of the first books I read right after Twilight when I started getting into reading again. And this book was amazing. I haven't seen anyone really talk about this book. Like, I just picked it up at the library one day and I had to buy it because I liked it so much. And I really want to reread this. I haven't read it in a while, but if you like kind of like ghosty alien stories, this is definitely for you. This book had a lot of suspense, a lot of thrill, a lot of mystery. I would consider it more of a thriller than a horror novel, but it still has that creepy kind of tension element that people like around this season, so I would definitely recommend it. So basically, this book starts out with this girl named Dusty. She gets a phone call, like just a random phone call from someone she doesn't even know, and they're saying they're dying. She has like no idea who this boy is, how he got our number, who he is, where he is. But then he starts saying things to her that are really weird because they're things that only someone who knows her could know, you know? So she's kind of like intrigued by this boy. And like all the things that he is saying to her reminds her of her brother who went missing 2 years ago. So she's kind of concerned. She's like, what if this is my brother? So she goes out on this journey. She's intrigued. She's been drawn in. And she goes on this journey to find this boy. He is super hard to find, super untrackable. He kind of has super untrackable. He kind of has this way of blending in, and for some reason she's in this really small town, so everyone's kind of like obsessed with finding this boy. Weird things are happening and stuff. So and everyone thinks that Dusty shouldn't be finding this boy, she shouldn't get involved, but she just needs to find him. But yeah, this book is definitely more on the psychological thriller side, so if that's something you guys are interested in, I would definitely recommend this book. I absolutely adored it. I really want to reread it sometime soon because it's been a while and I kind of don't know all the details, but if I do reread this soon, I will be sure to film a review for you guys because this book I love this book so much. Alright guys, so that is all for my spooky recommendations video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys read any of the books that I suggested, or if you are interested in any books I suggested. Or if you have read some of the books already, leave some comments down below, get discussing, let's talk books, because we all love books, yay! Okay, but that is all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!